The cost of IT in business can be staggering. From hardware and software expenses to services like internet and phone, you don't need to spend a fortune on IT to succeed. If your organization spends more than $500 monthly on any service, or you're considering signing a long-term contract, IT Enabled can help you manage your technology and minimize your costs. Contact us today to schedule a free consultation. IT Enabled, we're here to help.
Hi, I'm Tara Watson-Watkins, President and CEO of the Lufkin, Angelina County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the Connect podcast, connecting business to the community. I'm here today with my co-host, Blake Pollino with VP Media Group.
Welcome back to the show. We're so excited to have you back with us. This week we have Crystal Capps with the Alzheimer's Association here to talk about all of the great things that they're doing to help fund research and support for families and some great fundraising and charity events that they have coming up here that you can be a part of. So let's jump into that now.
Well, we're excited to have you on the podcast. Thanks, Crystal, for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. I love listening to podcasts.
It's fun.
I'm in my car all the time, so it feels really cool to be on the other side.
Well, you've definitely got to find the Connect podcast and listen to it.
Yeah, it's
been fun to see it grow and continue to, flourish.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you're with the Alzheimer's Association. You grew up here, though.
I did.
Yeah. So give a little bit of your background history, and then we'll talk about where you are.
Yeah, I'm from here, born and raised. My parents are here. My entire family's here. Went over to Nacogdoches for a little while, came back to Lufkin, and then took this opportunity at the Alzheimer's Association almost 7 years ago. And it's just been absolutely wonderful.
That's great.
And it just kind of lined up. My Granny Rosie had Alzheimer's. My papa had Alzheimer's. I had two uncles with it. So I've had a lot of experience with it, and it just kind of made sense and all fell into place.
That's right. Well, it's very dear to your heart to be able to work for an organization that you've been impacted by. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you've just actually moved to College Station.
Did.
With the Alzheimer's Association.
I did. So I am working that area, but I'm still over Lufkin and Nacogdoches.
Right.
And we do a lot of stuff in St. Augustine as well.
Okay.
So tell us about the Alzheimer's Association. What is it? What do you do?
So it's a 501c3 nonprofit. We're the leading voluntary health organization and research, care, and support. And on top of that, we do a lot of advocacy at a state level and a national level. So pushing laws through and trying to get them to pay for these medicines, Medicare to pay for these medications that are being approved by the FDA, and just all kinds of stuff. So, cool. But our main focus is on research, care, and support. And we offer free education programs. We can help facilitate support groups for caregivers and family members. And and it's all free. We have a website that is completely free. We have a helpline that's 24/7, totally free. And you can call if you just need someone to talk to, you want to bounce some ideas off of them, or you can get a full-blown care consultation for a family member. So
interesting.
All of that is free.
Nice. Nice. So, and you've been with them for 7 years?
For 7 years, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How have you seen it change over 7 years?
I've grown personally, and I'm over the walk to end Alzheimer's, which I know we'll get to in a minute. Yeah. But over the years, we've really expanded that, especially in the Lufkin area. It started out kind of small. We moved it to the zoo, Ellen Trout Zoo. We walk around the lake, and it has just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And then COVID hit, and it got smaller, obviously. But now we're building, and we're gaining that momentum again.
Right.
And so trying to get out there even more with our education, and we're trying to train community educators, volunteers that can go out and present these programs to businesses, to groups, to whoever wants to hear it. They can do it. So trying to do more of that and trying to get more support groups started. So
okay, very cool. So I want to back up just a little bit, and I want to talk about Alzheimer's just a little bit for people. It feels like everybody knows someone who's been affected by this, if you haven't been affected by it personally.
Right.
Just kind of for sake of awareness for people listening, tell us just a little bit about kind of the disease at large and kind of what's going on with that.
Well, There's a lot of misconception about it. A lot of people just think that it's a forgetful disease, like you just forget, but it's a lot more than that. So Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, and dementia is kind of like, it's an umbrella term. So it's like fruit, you know, there are different types of fruit. There are different types of dementia. Alzheimer's is the most common. So it's progressive. It slowly progresses. Faster for others, slower for some. It does affect your memory and your thinking, but it can affect your behavior, your mood, and then it's not typical aging. So I know as people age, or, you know, you lose your keys, or you forget a word, or, you know, something, that's typical. That's completely typical. It can be stress. It can be a multitude of things. Alzheimer's is non-typical. It's forgetting that a quarter is 25 cents. It's going on your computer and not remembering how to write an email, even though you've done that for years and years and years. It's very non-typical. And then eventually it just takes over your entire brain. So your motor skills start to go, you can't swallow, and then eventually you can't breathe anymore because your brain is just not sending those signals. So
it seems very common. I feel like we hear about a lot about it. What is it? A pretty common?
Oh, it is. 1 in 3 seniors will die of Alzheimer's or another dementia. And I think something that's even more scary is 1 in 5 women become at a higher risk starting at age 45. Really? So 1 in 5 women. Like, I'm not that far away from being 45, and that's just terrifying to me, you know? But I think the reason that you're hearing more and more about it and people are experiencing it more is not necessarily because it's more prevalent now than it used to be. It's that we know more about it now, and we can recognize more of it. So, you know, you see it in Hollywood and on TV shows. A character has Alzheimer's, you're just seeing it and hearing about it more because it is becoming more prevalent in people's lives.
And are we thinking that it's hereditary?
So it can be, but not necessarily.
Okay.
Like, there's no, you can test for a gene. Now, if you have it, it's still kind of a toss-up whether you'll get it or not. There is a hereditary gene there's another gene that you can test for it's a familial gene, and that will tell you, it's going to happen. But again, there's another gene that you can test for that's still a toss-up. So just because you have a lot of family members that have it doesn't necessarily mean you will too. Okay. But there are ways to you can't prevent it, but you can help your body, keep your heart healthy, eat healthy, get good rest. You know, always challenge your brain to do something new, learn a new language, play crossword puzzles.
Yeah,
stay busy and keep learning things. So keep your brain learning, basically. So
interesting. And so there's tons of research that's going into it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. So we really don't know a root cause of it, right? There's not a reason, right? It's not like, you know, a lot of things if you compare it to like cancer research, we're finding out that some of it is coming from exposure to certain things or different things like that. So there's still, as of right now, not a known cause for it, right?
No, I mean, we know that high blood pressure can cause it. We know having a bad heart can cause it. We know having a brain injury could cause it. So there are factors that we know it relates to, but as far as like just knowing this is what happens, there's not really like a full-blown answer for that.
Yeah.
But we are funding a lot of research and have done so for decades now. And in fact, I think this is pretty interesting. We've actually funded over $650,000 at Texas A&M University. So
Great. Right
here. And there's a study happening right now. So I think that's pretty cool that it's happening so close.
Absolutely. You know? So you've got this walk that's coming up, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Let's talk about that. When is it happening?
So it's September 30th. And like I said, we have it out at Ellen Trout Zoo. Okay. Mr. Henley so kindly donates that parking lot and a pavilion for us out by the lake.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a 5K. It's not. You can make it into a 5K, but it's a 1-mile loop. And we have some people who want to make it a 5K, that's totally fine. And we have some that just want to round it out and be done, that's fine. You can come out and not even walk if you want to, because we have a really sentimental ceremony where you feel really connected to everyone that's there, and you're seeing that there are other people possibly going through the same thing as you. So there's a lot of camaraderie. There's games, there's giveaways, there's food, there's coffee, and every year it gets just a little bit better. We add something that makes it a little more fun. There's stuff for kids. Bring your dogs. We had a therapy pig come last year. We've had a pony come. I mean, it's open arms to everyone and every animal.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you may have said the date on this already, September
30th.
Awesome. So where can people go if they want to register for this, they want to be involved in this?
So our website is act.alz.org/Lufkin, or you can simply Google Lufkin Walk to End Alzheimer's. We also have a group Facebook page. Just search Lufkin Walk to End Alzheimer's. You'll find it.
Awesome.
And you just go online. It's completely free to register. Super easy. It walks you through the entire process. Like I said, completely free. There are no fees at all. And then the idea is that you, as a walker, will fundraise until walk day, and even after. Fundraising doesn't close down until the end of the year. So
Okay, great.
you're welcome to do it. And even if you don't raise anything, if you set a goal of $100 and you don't raise $100, that's okay. Nothing's going to happen to you. We're not going to ask you to make up the difference, and you're still welcome to come out to walk even if you didn't fundraise. I think a lot of people think that if they don't fundraise, they can't come, and that's not true.
Sure.
So we encourage the fundraising, but there's no obligation to do it.
Yeah.
So
essentially you're registering to run or to walk in the event, and you're just asking people to donate to sponsor you to walk.
It's a peer-to-peer fundraiser. So if you sign up a team, you can be a team of 1 or a team of 500. There's no limit on that. And your fundraising can be as simple as tagging 10 friends on Facebook and asking them for $10, or sending a text to friends and family like, hey, will you donate to my walk team? Or you can have a really elaborate fundraiser. A lot of people do drive-through food lunches, and we have bake sales. We have all kinds of
There's
things.
a lot of things.
Yeah. So, and those are all of our teams doing that stuff, and especially our corporate teams. They get really creative. So there's stuff happening all throughout the year.
I love when you're out there, you see people that are walking that say, I'm walking for somebody. And I think that's so special. You know, our team has volunteered for several years, and it's always such a great morning. And it's just people are excited to be out there, and they're doing it for someone.
Yeah.
I think that's always so special.
We've had a team since I've been doing it, and their grandmother's name was Lucy. So they all have T-shirts made that say "I love Lucy," with her photo on it, and so I really love it because I know the teams, I know the walkers, and I know who their family members are and why they're out there, and I love it.
That's awesome.
I love getting to know them.
So all these funds are going to support the association. So tell us about the fundraising effort there.
So our biggest, what most of our money goes to, is research. We are the leading voluntary health organization, and we're number 1 in funding research. And we pick all of the research that we want to be a part of. And then a portion of it goes, like I said, to care and support. So getting those education programs done, running the website, running the helpline, like that's where a lot of the money goes as well. Very little actually goes to administrative costs. I think it's like 4% maybe.
Yeah.
And you can go to our website and you can actually look up where is this money going, and you can see that. So
That's great.
I love that.
So how did they collect the money on the morning of?
we will take it however you want to give it to us. We
Coins
take
and a
check.
sock.
Yeah, we'll take coins and a sock. We'll take cash. And you can even go online and just click donate and use a credit card, debit card. So however you want to do it, a lot of people will have a fundraiser and then they'll call me and I can come pick it up from you. We have an app with mobile deposit capabilities. So if someone writes you a check, you can take a picture of it and it goes straight to your team. So
Nice. It's very simple.
It really is.
They make it as easy as possible to
so
donate.
easy. So easy. If you have money that you just really want to give away, I'm your girl.
That's awesome. Well, very, very cool. I love that it goes to support research. It's been a rabbit hole that I've been down for the last, year or so with it. Just there's so much about the brain that we're just so early in understanding that we just don't get. And in order to figure this out, it has to be research. It has to be
Right,
and
right.
these people who are researching this, they have to have the funds
To do it.
in order to do that. And it's expensive a lot of times. You've got to create these big group studies and you got to pay people, and it's hard to do. So I'm so glad that this is funding
Absolutely.
things like that.
The brain is a tricky
is.
organ.
And there's still so much we don't know about it.
Right.
It's insane, and it's really cool to see things like this happening. And I love that it's happening so close to home for us too. That's going to local universities like that. Well, thank you so much. Where can people find out how to be involved in this? So if they want to sign up, if they want to register, where can they do all that?
You can go to our website. Like I said, it's as easy as Googling Lufkin Walk to End Alzheimer's. My information is on the website, so you're welcome. My cell phone number is. You're welcome to text, email me, send a pigeon. I'll answer.
She will find you.
Smoke signal, whatever you want.
However you want to reach out, I'm here for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah,
and sharing
thanks for
everything.
having me. This was really exciting.
Good. We appreciate it.
I'm glad. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Again, please go and support this. If you want to go walk in it, if you want to go and do 5K, if you want to be an overachiever, whatever you want to do, just support this in any way that you can. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast again this week, and we'll see you next week.